Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today, looking at some more beer. So today guys, we're going to be looking at the original beer, the first Hjemstavn beer by Munkebo Mikrobryg. So this is the Munkebo Mikrobryg Hjemstavn Ale. This is a Brewmaster Specialty Brew or Special Brew number 1. So this is the first beer they did with their own house yeast, which they harvested from bees. Which if you want the full story or more on it, look up my review of the Hjemstavn Harvest Ale, where I talk a little bit more about it. But basically, they have a local beekeeper that lives close to the brewery. They went to her place and collected bees and got yeast samples via them. So through that, they grew a yeast for making beer, which was sourced locally, and the bees had been traveling to all around the area within the brewery and stuff. So that's really cool. This one was also sent to me from Munkebo Mikrobryg, so thanks to the guys at Munkebo for the beer. This one is made with barley malt from Funen, so local barley malt, which they're from Funen, and the hops is Pilgrim. So the only Pilgrim hops in this 25 IBUs and 4.7% alcohol, and they just say that it's brewed with the yeast or microflora from around the brewery found in a local bee, and then that it should smell like peach and apricot, kind of like the other ones. Oh, and the IBU is 25, so I actually think this one here is probably the one that's going to showcase that house yeast best, to be honest, their own yeast. And if it's anything like the first one, it's probably going to be very Belgian-y. So yeah, it looks really nice in the glass. That hazy yellow color. I guess you'd call it style-wise a traditional ale because it's not really a style that exists. It's just kind of reinventing Danish brewing tradition almost, because everyone locally brewed beer back in the day and like on farms and whatnot. So I guess it's kind of going back to that. So I guess you would categorize it as a traditional ale. But it looks nice. As I said, hazy golden yellow, white head, 4.7% alcohol, I believe. Yes. Let's take out the aroma on this bad boy. Oh yeah, very like Hefeweizen-like almost, or Belgian-y. It smells like the Harvest Ale, but with a less hop character, or less of a hop character. It's definitely got that kind of peppery, slight apricot, stone fruit thing going. That apricot peach as they mentioned, but I think it's actually more of an like fruity, estery, banana-y thing on the aroma on this one, with like pepper and spice. Almost like a clovey thing. It's to me, it smells very close to a Hefeweizen. And then like some sweet maltiness. A little bit of a grassy, hoppy kick to it. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, and thanks to Munkebo for the beer. That's nice. It's quite similar, but not completely similar to something like a Hefeweizen or a Belgian pale ale, maybe. It's pretty tasty though, very sessionable, very quaffable. It's kind of like there was like a candied peach apricot flavor right there, like a sweetness. Yeah, it's kind of like a sessionable a Belgian pale ale thing with some almost wheaty witbier type flavors. I don't think it has wheat, because it would say contains wheat, but you get that the same kind of estery character that you get from using Weizen yeast, German Hefeweizen yeast, and also the Belgian character. It's got that peppery flavor and the grassiness, the sweet maltiness to it as well. I think I like the Harvest Ale a little bit more because it seemed to pop a little more. It's kind of jumped more out of the glass, but it was also higher in ABV. But it's still quite nice. You almost like a slight banana-y thing, and definitely that pepper, and it's a sweeter estery yeast character to it. Definitely a sweet yeast profile. Also, I'm not sure if you can still get the chance to do it, but they have a contest right now where you can order on their website their house yeast that they created, the Munkebo 004, I think it's called, yeah. But I also think there are some others, because they made a few different ones. And then you can order it and enter it into their homebrew competition, where you can have the chance to have the beer brewed at their facility, which is awesome, have it commercialized. And I'm actually going to be one of the judges of that, so that should be interesting. But this is pretty tasty. Kind of like a sessionable Danish pale ale, I guess you could say. Something like that, with some inspiration in flavors, or flavors that are reminiscent of Belgian and German brewing traditions. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna go 85. It doesn't pop as much as the Harvest Ale, but it's still tasty stuff. I'm looking forward to trying the one called Hjemstavn Strong Danish Ale, which is kind of like an imperial version. That should be interesting to try. So yeah, guys, that does it for the beer review of the Munkebo Hjemstavn Ale, a beer made with a house yeast harvested from a bee. That's really cool. So yeah, guys, thanks a bunch to Munkebo Mikrobryg for sending this one out. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. And I'm going to say cheers and some delicious beer. And see you guys in another beer review.